we have been celebrating love and celebrating new love. And what I found that I've been reflective over is just marriage itself and what that looks like and the journey that we have been on. And as we are going into this next chapter, we're now entering into not just marriage, but marriage and business. And like real talk, that's not always easy. And so we have been on a finding the Gatewood rhythm as business partners. We do life partnering well, but when you add that aspect of business partnering, that's a new rhythm. That's a new muscle that we had to figure out how to exercise. And so I think we're getting there. We getting there, especially because we are also both only children. And so we do well with our individual skill sets and our individual who we are as individuals, because that's still important in marriage and keeping who we are as individuals. That's who God has created us to be. But now when we're now building that and bringing that together to do business together, that's just been a new skill set that we've had to now enter, a new partnership that we've now had to enter into. And so it's been a journey, but I think we're getting there.
And again, we often say, evolution is it in a marriage. Evolution is it in every relationship. And so when you think about, God put us together, and without a vision, the people perish. And God sent her to be a suitable helper. And so, of course, if she's a suitable helper and what we're creating is going to have an eternal and lasting impact, not only in our lives, but in the lives of other people that God is calling us to reach, of course, the enemy is going to attack that. So as we often says, we don't fight each other, we fight for one another. And so what has happened is that as we have tried to find this rhythm, in the beginning, it felt like resistance. And we've used the word competition a lot in our relationship. But I think that only child, she's a leader, I'm a leader. And so, we like what we like, we want what we want. But then when we put down our own desires and ask God, what are you trying to do? Then that's when we realize that, all of the stress of the relationship and us trying to have the competition turns into collaboration. And then that's when, honestly, God gets all of the glory. So working together is not always easy, but it's absolutely possible. And just like in any other context, when you think about, teams coming together, they form, they storm, and they norm, and then they perform. So sometimes you have that storming phase, but we've reached the point where we've now started to normalize what our working in partnership will be. Because again, we've been, in some regards, from a professional standpoint, living life parallel. And then we finally said, no, what is God calling us to build? And now we're going to build that together. So now when we come together to do that, it's a completely different relationship and a completely new way of me learning her learning me. And it's honestly been beautiful. And so really that's what this trip has been all about, is just strategizing, figuring out like what is God really calling us to do in this next season, so that we can fully commit to his plan beyond my desires, beyond her desires, so that we can do all that God has called us to do. So this trip has been absolutely amazing. It's been necessary work. It's been work, but it's been necessary. But it has not been stressful. It actually has been relaxing and
exciting. Like it's exciting to be able to just be able to stop and really say, okay, God, we hear you. Because the thing is, there's no shortage of plans in the Gatewoods world. There's no shortage. We got a whole lot of notes, Evernotes, you name it. We've wrote the vision, and it's probably plain, but now we got to go. And so the going is often the part that we get stuck on, because life can overtake those plans. And so it's been great to just be able to stop and say, God, give us wisdom, give us focus, remove distractions, and get us on one accord, so that we can now be able to do what you've assigned us to do and what you've called us to do, and to the people who you have called us to speak into in this next season of our lives.
And that's why I like the word rhythm, because the
Yeah.
rhythm is about creating the habits that's going to call the daily habits that's going to enable us to actually execute the vision. Because she said,
Mm-hmm.
write the vision, make it plain, so they that read it can run thereby. So we have written the vision, but we realize we have written it just short of how do we run.
Yeah.
And so now, over the course of this time we've been here, we've written it to the point where now we can run. And so we're excited about here are the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly habits that we will create, so that the vision can come to fruition. And the thing that I love the most about it is that we know it's a God vision because it's not even how it's going to benefit us. It's actually how it's going to benefit so many other people. And so, and that's why it's a little, I won't say scary because it's not fearful. It's exciting, but it's most definitely a faith walk because what God is showing, we don't have the capacity and or resources to do it. So we solicit your prayers as we journey forward. Because again, that's why we out here walking, sweating. But you know, God starts speaking, so we said we need to stop and just talk, not wait. Because that's another thing we do is we wait, and sometimes we lose the vision. But it's like, no, we're gonna stop right here and we're gonna say it, we're gonna record it, because what God has placed inside of us, we need to get it out so that we can share with all of you. So we're excited. We're about to get back on this health journey because for all that God is calling us to do, we're gonna have to be able to shed a few pounds so that we can have the strength to move forward. But we love y'all and we can't wait for this next season, and we'll see y'all soon.